Hey guys, so the last update was about 10 months ago, and there's a lot to unpack. And I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but I'm gonna try, so here goes. So, 10 months ago, I don't really remember what happened because I haven't watched it, but I was at the house. I'm not at the house now, and I would like to say that's by my own efforts, and I worked hard, and I did it, but I'm not one to lie. So I know I documented that my mother was on meth, and that was still true. She got so bad that she started having hallucinations. She started seeing people that weren't there. She started believing that people she was watching on live stream could hear her through her phone, and she would actually introduce me to these people. Like they could hear what she was saying. And she believed empirically that she was the girlfriend of Elon Musk and that she could just do anything that she wanted to. And it became a little overbearing to deal with. She got extremely, extremely violent. Um, she hit me, she kicked me, she punched me in the face, shoved me around. I ended up calling the cops on her. She called the cops on me. Nothing was really done. And so I basically just lived with it. I stayed gone for as long as I could, and I mean I would have to come back, but I was working. I'm still at Bruckner's. I'm still, doing good work. It's difficult because I think back to 10 months ago, and even though life was shit, I still had my own room, I still had my own space, and that's now no longer true. I'm in an apartment with my father and my brother. About, let's see, 5 months ago now, um, I had stayed a long weekend at my friend's house, and I was going to stay the rest of the time that I took off with my father. So we went back to the house and we took care of the animals. And mom is speaking to me and I'm trying to ignore her, but she asks, "Am I coming back home?" I told her I would be back that next night because I had work on Tuesday. I had taken that Monday off. And she said, "I don't want you back here. You can't come back here." I reminded her that she can't keep me out of the house because the cops told her that. She starts shoving me, trying to get me out of the house, so I shove her off of me. So she comes at me again, and I shove her off me again, and she hauls off and hits me in the face. My first instinct was to hurt her very severely, but I backed off. I thought right now it's assault, and if I fight her, I will go to jail. I mean, granted, put us in the same cell, but at the same time, I can't lose the job that I had or have had. So I start leaving the house. She pursues me, and the back porch that we have is about 3 feet off the ground, and she tried to shove me over that. And I'm not talking about like, with the hip, I'm talking about this way. And so I put my foot down, I bear my weight, and I shove her to the floor to get her off. She has hold of me here, and she's kicking me in the knee, trying to get me to fall. I pull my phone out. She's trying to get away from me, so I shove her to the floor again. She decides that fighting with me is not the best option, so she's going to go talk to my father. And he starts recording everything that's happening. And I mean, she's spouting off about this girlfriend and about the gang stalking and how we've abandoned her and it's elder abuse. And so I get in the car and we leave. I call the cops. They show up about half an hour later because they had another domestic violence to go to. I guess it was the night for it. And I finally get a cop that listens to everything that I have to say. And with my face the way it was, he understood that, something had happened. Granted, they didn't press charges or take her that night. Hey, cool, whatever. But that's the night that I came to live here. And it hasn't been an easy adjustment because I don't have my own room. My father and I share because my brother also lives here with his son. And so it's tight quarters, but it's a lot better than having to deal with that. A month later, in April, I call her to get a grocery list because we're still helping take care of her. And she tells me that there were 3 men in the attic trying to kill her. Well, anybody who knew that house knew that if they were in the attic, they would fall in and be dead, or at the least very, very hurt. So I called a welfare check. Called the police. I need a welfare check. I was hoping that if they saw her acting out, that they would be able to take her, but they couldn't. They stayed out an hour and a half. God bless every one of them. They tried every loophole, every law, every thing, and I was crying because I'm like, you don't understand. She's gonna do something and it's gonna be bad. I don't know if she's gonna hurt herself or hurt somebody, but I got taken home. Half an hour later, she calls me that there are 6 men with guns in the backyard trying to kill her, and that my dad's girlfriend had somehow crawled through my window, which was covered in plastic, and was sitting in the closet. And I'm just like, wow, call the cops. That's all I said to her. Literally 12 to 13 hours after I called them, I get a call from a number I don't recognize. I ignore it. I get another call from a number I don't recognize. I ignore it. But something tells me to call back that last number. Well, trying to get it to sit. So I do. I call it back, and as it turns out, it was fire dispatch. This phone is literally not wanting to do anything. Um, and they tell me that there was a house fire. And so I get dad up and we go, and on the way we're talking, I'm like, what? She's gonna have to set the house on fire. And I mean, I was halfway joking and I was halfway not. But we get there and she's detained. And one of my cats is dead. The others made it out of the house. And even though it was standing, the house was basically, half of it had fallen in, and the half that was standing was char. I find the animals that I'm able to and brought them over here. And I search through everything for everything that I need, and I bring it over. I'm already here, but, hold on, my cat's trying to jump. And I'm angry at the time because I knew that she was going to do something and nobody wanted to listen. Nobody listened to what I had to say. So she was taken to the crisis center downtown. She was sent to a geriatric mental facility about an hour away. And even then she was telling me how I ruined her life, and I'm ignoring it because whatever, right? And she's like, just spouting all this bullshit. Like, she still believes that, she's a victim of gang stalking. And I come to find out from her psychiatrist, she can't tell me everything, but she tells me that my mom is going to have these fixed ideations for the rest of her life. And she was responding to medication, but I've only recently come to find out that the medication she was prescribed is for people with severe schizophrenia. 3 weeks later, they decide to let her out, and I tell them, don't. She's not ready. She's not going to stick to the plan. You're not understanding. And they hung up on me. They didn't want to listen. She gets out and everybody's catering to her. They get her a brand new cell phone, because she needs a way to talk to people. And they put her up in a hotel because she needs a place to stay. Nobody will live with her. And they get her access to her Chime account. And all of a sudden, she's saying to my dad, I need some energy. And in that moment, it was right back to it. I talk to her as very little as possible. I don't buy her anything. I barely see her. I can't spend time with her because I hate her. She disgusts me as a human being. And I know how awful it sounds, but I wish that she would have died in that fire because that would have been easier to deal with than all of this. And I hold so much guilt. And my therapist even asked me, like, what could anybody else have done that you didn't do? And they're right. She's right. Like, I did everything. Everything that a daughter should have done. Everything that a concerned person should have done. And it all came down in the end. I lost my mom a long time ago, and it's like, it's hard. I feel guilt over that cat. I feel guilt over the ones I can't find, and I drive myself crazy with what if. What if I had done this? What if I had done that? I still have problems with it raining. I have problems with all of it. Because I'm still, like, part of me is still there. And the house is gone. They bulldozed it. 21 years of life in that house, and it's gone. Recently, I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease, and I'm trying. I haven't been taking care of myself since this all started. All that's kept me going are my friends and encouragement. But it's hard. It's hard to lose everything again. She faced no jail time, no charges. I dropped the assault case because I thought she was going to be charged with arson. And she wasn't. So I try every day, and I feel like some days are better than others, but I think I'm always gonna have this trauma, and I have to work through it because I don't want it ruining every good thing in my life. I have so much to be thankful for, but that's in another video. So I just wanted to give an update. Because you guys have waited 10 months, and I feel that if I don't start talking about any of this, I'm going to drive myself into an early grave. My dad says that holding on to the anger is going to kill me, and I think that he's right. Because I am angry. I feel let down, and, like, I reached out a hand to somebody, anybody, and there was nobody. I'm gonna try, because it's all I can do now. So keep your fingers crossed, because I feel like that's all I have right now is just keep trying. Because it's what I'm good at, apparently. Bye, guys.